Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your boy, man. So, the topic of today's discussion is going to be odd jobs to my dream career, my 5 year plan. Because some people might be looking at me and saying, True Hagobi, what the hell going on, man? That's my show. That's what I'm trying to figure out and ask you all these questions. But at least for you, what's going on, man? What do you think? What do you think? And I'm coming from a position where I'm speaking to you guys knowing that anything can change at the blink of an eye. But if I were to talk to you guys about it, my 5 year plan is building out HMG, is to build out my dream. Wait. I should start out to say by odd jobs. So right now, currently, we're in odd job status. We just do what we need to do to make it ends meet. I don't really work for money. Money works for me. I always do a little something if I need to. I'm not opposed to anything. Like I say, guys, I'm not opposed to anything to doing anything, you know? But what I am saying is that, like, money works for me. And I've learned so much things on my journey. I've learned so much things on my path. On my path to this debt that I've amassed, this financial situation that I'm in. I've learned so freaking much, guys, and I'm so excited that once God turns on the tap and He gives me my abundance and my blessing, when these things manifest in the third dimensional realm, even though like I'm living like they're already here because I'm chilling at the park. This is all where I want to be, guys, just at the park. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a star child. All I just want to be is out in nature for the most part. That's why I'll get into it. But the essentially, like, that's where I'm at right now. You know, it's just like I just unplugged from the matrix. I just am getting my foot outside of the, getting my foot outside. What should I say? How should I describe it? Like stepping outside for the first time, in my own. And sometimes, oh no, my sneaks. And sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes it can be confusing. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. But I never give up. And I encourage you to never give up either, because like I've seen the end result, man. I've seen the end result. So essentially, like, what do I see happening for myself in the next 5 years? They always ask me this question, where do I see myself in the next 5 years? So very soon, I can't tell you guys when because I don't know, but very soon, all signs point to yes, I'm going to be receiving a massive blessing. That guy's been calling for $888,357. So don't be surprised when I put the screenshot on my community page. And that's the first step. And I don't know. And again, guys, I'm saying this to you guys. I don't know because I don't know what God has in store for me. I'm just giving my rendition of the truth of the path, and then let's see how things progress as we move forward. That's why I go live every day, so I can tell you guys what's going on in my life, so that you guys can compare what I've said versus what actually happened, and then how long it took to get there. So I'm gonna just talk to you guys from the heart. So essentially, my big blessing is on the way. It's here already. My big blessing is here already. I live as though it's here already. It's here. Money comes to me effortlessly. I don't have to work. I don't have to slave. I don't have to strain for money. Money comes to me effortlessly. And as a result of that, I'm a corporate citizen. So all the money goes into my corporate account. I pay myself a salary as a result, and then the money continues to cycle and circulate. My 5-year plan is to build my media empire, to increase Hagobi's Nation to the point where we are an imagined nation. HMG is going to become the new MTV. I have ideas for shows. I have ideas for movies. I have ideas for radio shows on a ton of things. And the exciting thing about it is that, like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can see what's been done already before in the past, and you can just replicate it based off of new technology, new information, and new artists. So we got the magazine, Hagobi Zile. We got the TV network, HMG, which is going to be YouTube and a compilation of other, social media platforms. And then as a result, now that's going to take the fortune from the 6 figures to the 10 figures. And then once we go from 6 figures to 10 figures, and we can do it all again, because essentially, like, once you get to the 6-figure mark, and then you have, I know about money multiplication, I know about money magnetism, and then I'll do it again. I'll do the money multiplication again, get the money, double the income. You feel what I'm saying? So then it's like, now we're investing in high yield dividend stocks, so that way the money that we do have, I'll put the money in a GIC. And then Then I'll take the equity out of that GIC, and then I'll use it to buy high yield dividend stock, and then I'll use that high yield dividend stock, the money from that, to pay back the loan, and then live off the spread. So as long as we're making a cool 5, 7, 10% in between, the values will change. That's why in the previous video I was talking about, it's just about percentages. It's not about dollar value. It's about percentages. Because if you're saying, if you got a spread and you can live off of, let's say 4% every month, 5% every month, but the 5% is $1 million, you know, what's 5% of $1 million? 10% is 100,000, 5% is 50,000. So you can live off 50 grand a month. It's good living, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking hypothetically. I'd have to actually find the cash management strategy, cash management vehicles to facilitate this, but I know it exists because I thought about it already. And I know it exists because I exist. So in the next 5 years, I'll be about 37 years old. So, excuse me. Yeah, that's essentially what it will be. And then as we continue to build these things, guys, I'm going to be buying a lot of land. And it's going to be like this whole notion. I'm setting up shop all over the world. So it's like, for example, I know about money multiplication. I know about money magnetism. And then once I do that, and I do that in Canada, for example, let's just say I'm in Toronto, Ontario today as I speak to you. Well, I'm actually in Brampton, but whatever. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do it here in Toronto, then I'm gonna do it again in New York, and then I'm gonna do it again in California, and then I'm gonna do it again in Texas, and I'm gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? So then it's like, now we've got an ironclad army all around the world. I'm gonna do it in Thailand. I'm gonna do it in wherever the case may be. Anywhere that have fractional reserve banking, I can do this strategy. Okay, so that's pretty much the 5-year plan. It's like, once the breakthrough comes in, once the breakthrough is materialized in this physical realm, it's off to the moon, man. We're going on tour. So that way, the first round of the tour is going to be establishing connections all around North America. You guys know where we're headed. And for those that don't, we're going from Toronto to New York City. No, we're going to Toronto. We got to go to Buffalo. We got to go to Pennsylvania. We got to go to New York City. We got to go to Virginia. We're going to Miami. We're going to Arizona. We're going to Louisiana. We're going to Texas. Then from Texas, we're going to go to, Arizona's after Texas. Arizona, Las Vegas, California, British Columbia, Alberta, and then back to Toronto. So you can see where I'm going to be going around buying land in all these places. This is just the 5-year plan, guys. We're not even talking about the 25-year plan. This is the 5-year plan. Buying land in all these places and then building self-sustainable communities in each of those. I'm not sure. I really am inspired by the Venus Project. If you're not familiar with that, you can look it up. And I don't know if I want to do housing. It's like, I don't know. That way, like, people can just like live on the compound. You can just like, you don't have to worry about money, man. You know, because if the land is owned by us, if we build it ourselves, we you know, and then this is where it's like, you have companies where you get in touch with all these corporations. So it's like, you buy the land, you own it on your property, and then you have a construction company that helps you build it. You have a real estate company, then you make your own food, you get farmers. And I don't know if I want to build it circular or if I want to build it vertically. We're gonna see what the life, you know, what will be the case, you know. But it's like, build it up like a vertical condo, or just make it so that way. I think I will do circle. I think circular is better, because with vertical, there's maintenance that comes with that. And then we want to keep things as easy as possible. Don't make it fussy, you know. Live self-sustainable, grow the foods that you can on that particular land, and then the animals that you can cultivate on that particular land, you know. There's a lot of what they may refer to as barren land in the country, man. You can buy it and you can build on it. We'll have our own militia as well too, our own military, because people are not going to come to our doorstep and do whatever they want to our people. No, thank you. So that's pretty much a brief synopsis of my plan. Is that essentially, you know, as we continue to grow these things, I have a lot of financial strategies. I'm a very outside of the box thinker, and like, it shows, because I talk to people and they either crack jokes or they take notes. And I'm okay with either one, you know. I don't really care whatever you do, because I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my original plan. When I was looking to get business funding in October of the last year that just passed. You know, we were able to magnetize able to magnetize 4 figures, and then we were able to multiply it to 6 figures. So on paper, yeah, guys, and that's pretty much like that. That's the strategy, you know, because once we can develop that, once the money comes in, take my 10%, splurge, have some fun, and build an empire. I'm taking over the world, guys. I said this, I'm taking over the world, and like, you guys are just lucky that I'm not evil. Some bands are out there really is evil, you know what I'm saying? They're really evil and they really want to destroy the world. I want to help people, I want to help women, I want to educate, you know, people. So like, that's why I do this stuff, you know. That's why until my last breath, man, or until they put a hole in my brain, that's what I'm working towards, you know. That's what we going on tour, we sharing the music, we sharing the vision, we sharing the life, man, we sharing all of this stuff. So I think we're here to solve problems, man. We're here to solve problems. That's my plan from Odd Jobs, working right now, Odd Jobs, to the biggest. Okay. And honestly, guys, like I say, God already showed me that this is going to happen. God already showed me that these things is going to happen. You know, I'm not going to leave this realm until I'm rich. So until these things get materialized, I think till these things get manifested. And then once it's done, man, once everything is all said and done, you guys can cremate me and just make me an oak tree. I don't know if I want to be an oak tree or if I want to be a peach tree. So either way, whatever, man, whatever, you know. So yeah, guys, that's my tentative plan. Everything changes day to day. Tomorrow it could be different. Tonight it could be different. By the time I turn this camera off, I could turn around. There could be a bag of money and things could be different. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's just the tentative plan. But essentially, to sum it up again, for those that may be confused, is get the money. Once you get the money, you put it into safe vehicles, GICs, REITs, high yield, and then you get high yield dividend stock, and then you use that dividend stock, the money off that stock, to live. The hardest part about it, guys, is getting the first bag. The hardest part about it is getting the first bag. Once you do that, you're okay, you know? So we can connect on these things, man. Message me if you wish to talk about this. We can have a consultation call and discuss financial strategy and infinite expansion. Because if you think, guys, that like, if you do this once, and then once your corporation is set up, you can start another corporation and you can do it again, and you can not funnel, but you can actually work, you know, do something with the money and put it to your other business and then do it again, cycle it again. They put money under water law, guys, for you to use. So study the water cycle, understand the water cycle and how these things work. And then now you have, I think they said Donald Trump opens a new corporation every year. He have like 400 corporations, something like that. Hundreds of corporations that all have access to unlimited money and unlimited credit. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. So that's why I'm just like to myself, I'm not stressing myself out. I'm you know, working myself, or I'm thinking myself out of the situation that I'm in right now. We got guys for sale, guys. We got books, we got methods, we got understanding. Okay? That will cost you like anyways. It's okay. If you guys want to connect with me, you can connect with me, man. All my links are going to be available down below. I'm there. You can find me, guys. I'm not hard to find. So that's my plan. That's my tentative 5-year plan. That will be, we can refer back to this video in 2030. Yeah, we can refer back to this video in 2030, and we'll see how much things have manifested in the physical realm, you know? So yeah, I'm excited. I hope you are too. Later.